Yes. Sometimes we'll be getting this type of error message. Right now, what we are doing, we are running the payroll. While running the payroll, we have selected legislative data group and we have selected US simplified payroll for US. Now we executed the validation report, after that retroactive notification reports. And then the main program is a calculate payroll. That is a standard process. The moment when we run this, we got some alert here and it's showing that one record has got failed. Of course, there is only one employee in this particular payroll. That's the reason. Let's see. Let's go for click on this. Now, what system is showing? Employee is fine. Your employee is P1. P1 is the employee is existing this particular payroll. And but what is that error has encountered when processing the payroll relationship? No suspense account exists for the employee. Suspense account is basically it's a general ledger. When we are paying the salaries to the employees, we are supposed to calculate the payroll cost. Payroll cost is basically it's a separate concept. It's payroll. It's almost like a submodule within the payroll. And when we want to configure the payroll costing, we are supposed to do it the cost definition at different levels, different hierarchies. We have separate payroll costing types. Means we can define the payroll costs at different levels. Vision HCM payroll cost hierarchy. So look at the cost hierarchy. It's from right from the HCM level to it comes to the different levels. So right from the element entry, and we can find that person element, person payroll assignment, person payroll relationship, job or position, or department or element eligibility, or at the time of creating the payroll itself, you can go for set up the cost account as well as the suspense account. Right now that is missing. Everywhere it is missing. At the employee level, you are not mentioned. Element level is not mentioned. Element eligibility level is not mentioned. Payroll level also you are not mentioned. That's why it is showing that error message. Any of this level, if you have specified the suspense account, then it's okay. Suspense account is basically in GL module, we will find if the debit is not equal to the credit, there will be a separate account that we are going to have to maintain all the transactions related for those debit is not equal to credit. Let me go for payroll definition and search for the payroll, whatever we have defined. Choose legislative data group here. We're trying to edit. Let's go for update. And I'm going to say that it will be updated from January 1st. So from this date onwards, I would like to check the validations here. Now go for costing tab. This we have missed, costing tab here. This we have specified the cost account, but suspense account is not specified. That is missing. So that's what system is showing the error message. Suspense account is missing. In case of any debit or not equal to the credit transactions happen, where do I account it? So that's why it is asking us to configure it at any different level. So now go for submit. It's valid from 1st January 23. Whatever the updates we have done, those all are valid from 1st January 2023. That's why I went for update mode, changed the date, and I have updated from the date wherever we want. Okay. So now right. Sometimes we'll get this type of error message. Let's just cross check once. Payroll definitions. Search for this. Verifying the information is updated or not. Costing, no, it's not update. Let's say update from today. We'll get it. So now it's been updated because the record has created only with this today date, right? That's why we have updated. Now let's go for the page, whatever we were working with the payroll. Let's go back to our payroll here. And we have the payroll dashboard where we can find the payrolls which we have submitted. You can see the payroll name here. This we wanted to go for retry this. Our system is going to run this payroll again. This particular process where calculate payroll processes. Again, it's going to close. It's completed success. That's how we are supposed to rectify the errors. When we get any error in a particular process or report, we have to open that and we'll have to see what exactly the problem, and we have to go back and but we have to be very clear with all the setups, whatever we are working. Now the calculate payroll is completed successfully. It means system has calculated the salary for an employee. Then it's going to run the report here, gross to net report. So far, how much we have paid it. It's in a report, standard report. It's running. After this report is completed, gross to net report. Gross to net report means how much we have paid to the employee so far. This report or portfolio is going to show it. And then we'll find the verify reports. Verify reports is going to show the information about this report, whatever is generated. That is the manual task. Once the payroll is done, calculation, then payment. These all tasks are related for the payments. This all comes under the payment. The system is trying to calculate prepayments. Before making the payments, it's going to verify all the bank and the payment methods and other things, verify that. Archive the periodic payroll result and payroll costing, this all it will be executed. So archive is very important. Archive periodic payroll result is very important. Without archiving, we cannot go for execute next level. And payroll costing result, run payroll register report here. This is payroll registration. Once payment is done, payment register report. There will be 2 register reports. One is payroll, another one is a payment. Right now we completed the payroll. That's why we'll see payroll register report. Once we do the payment, then we'll find payment register report. This is EFT payments and check payments and payslips. It's going to be generated. Well, let's go for refresh this. Now what system is showing here? So verify report is okay. We are going to set that it's manual, mark as complete. And then calculate prepayment as a system. The standard process is nothing but a system process is going to be executed. Manual task means we are supposed to configure this process manually. Manually, we have to run this particular task. Payment is done. Manually, I'm going to say that yes, prepayment also is success. We have no issues with payment related before we make the payment. And now we are going to have this is all automatically submitted. Archive periodic payroll result. Then two reports, payroll costing and payroll register reports. Then EFT payment, check payments, payslips generation and verify payslips. Finally, payment register report. This all comes under payment. So whenever we are running the payroll flow, it's mainly a high level three parts. One is calculation part, another one is payment part, another one is accounting part. Right now, calculation part is completed. System has already calculated the salary for employee, either for one employee or for multiple employees. Now we are going to make the payment. Means you are supposed to generate the checks or EFT transfers. We have to do that. So once we pay the amount to the employee, we are supposed to generate the pay slips. And also we have to enter that information in the payment. That's what pay slips here. And then payment register. So this all comes under payment. Once payment is done, then we are supposed to create accounts, generate the salary accounts and transfer all this accounting information to general ledger. If clients has implemented financials models, if client is not implemented Fusion financials, definitely they might be using some other software to maintain their accounting information. So then we have to export this data from our Oracle Fusion payroll to some other system. Maybe your client is using SAP FICO to maintain the accounts, or they might be using Salesforce or some Microsoft Dynamics ERP to maintain accounting information. So once we pay the salaries in this system and make the payment, the salary accounts needs to be exported from our Fusion Cloud payroll to legacy. We'll generate one extract and we'll generate the output file in text or CSV format. Then they'll take care how they can load into SAP or Salesforce or Microsoft. We call them as legacy systems. So other than the Oracle Fusion, whatever the softwares our client is using, we'll call it as a legacy system. Legacy is nothing but other systems. So we will just provide the extract information to them, then they'll take care of loading into their systems. Right now, all are automatic processor. Let's see, refresh. Now we can find up to payroll costing is fine. Now payroll register reports, EFT pay slips. It takes a couple of minutes time, but when we are working in the real time, we don't find these issues because the server will be as it's in refreshment system. It's not going to be a vision instance, right? So that will be because thousands of employees will be there. The organizations will be running this payroll end of the month for them. And then they are supposed to go for calculation. It takes some months, couple of months time for testing payroll because it is very important. Number of times needs to be tested and finally delivered to the client saying that that's fine. And after delivering also in support, we'll be getting tickets related for the payroll like retro tier, proration, some of the taxes calculating, not calculating. Deduction, some of the elements are missing for some of the employees and all. Check payments. See, after completion of this payments, we can see that the system is generating the pay slips, verify the pay slips, and we have to run this payment register report. And after that, transfer to subledger account and also review final journal entries to the general ledger model, which we have imported. Okay, so this is accounting part. Accounting part will find only two processes. One is transfer to subledger accounting. Another one is a review final journal entries. These all processes and reports. Process is nothing but a program. That may be Java language or PLSQL or Linux. It can be any program internally that we don't need to worry about as functional consultant. The only thing what we have to know is what exactly this process will do, and after completion of this process, where do I check the result? That we have to be clear for all the reports as well as for the processes. Payslips completed. Payslip is done. We are going to verify that the payslips has completed. It's a manual task. I'm going to say that yes, payslip has been completed. Then system is going to run the payment register report. Last time it was payroll register report because we have executed the payroll. So that payroll result will be generated here. Now I wanted to see the payment report, payment result. So we'll check that here. Payment register report. How much payment you have done to your employees? That we are going to find out. Run payment register report. Then after that, we can see transfer to subledger accounting is a standard process. It will transfer all the salary accounts to the GL model for general ledger accounting that we have to find. So generally, finance consultants and payroll cost consultant will go for an integration between the payroll as well as the general ledger for this transfer to subledger accounting. Or some senior level functional consultant means architect level, they'll go for an integration between these two. It's completed successfully. I just wanted to say that yes, we have reviewed the journals and everything is done success. All the 20 process and reports has been executed successfully in our payroll flow. I just wanted to see the employee payslip. Okay, let's go to navigator. If you are an admin, you can get it payslip information for an employee here. Admin in the sense a person who is having the access to human resource specialist role. So we can search an employee and we can go ahead with the task list here. And then can find the payslip option here. View payslip. Can click search button, we'll be able to find the payslip. This is one option. Of course, employee also can check by logging to the applications. Just employee role is sufficient. We know that every employee will have a user account. So for this employee also, the moment when you hire an employee, user account will be generated. Last name, dot first name or email ID, whatever the setup. Now what system is showing user account is active. And this is the username, last name, dot first name. And I could see that roles also default. Employee role is sufficient to view the payslips. Right. So now what P1 employee is going to do is, so just we need a password for P1 employee. I just wanted to test it. Go to tools menu, security console. Let's go to the users tab here. And we will go for it. P1 dot employee here. Now let me reset the password for this employee here. Click that button. I'm just going to log in as an employee, and as an employee, I can access my self information. Which role is required? Employee role is sufficient to access the self information. In the sense, personal information, payslips information, leaves information, all standard functionalities. Now go to navigator. I can see that here, me. So this is all personal information. Now I can see my payslips here. Go to pay. Here I can find out my payslips. So employees means end users can check payslips for a specific range. If they wanted to know specific range, of course, they can specify what is the range here and they can go for search. So this is the payslip. In payslip, they can find it's a general, how the employees will verify their payslips, earnings and deductions. So right now we added only one element, that is earning element, basic salary, which we have done for an employee. And we can find employee home address, or which legal employer is working, what is the assignment number, person number, payroll relationship number, right? So person number is this, payroll relationship number, and what is the hire date, for which period you have executed the payroll. So 1st January 2023 to 31st January 2023, you have paid the basic salary to your employees. And also tax is deducted, standard tax. The deductions part we can find out here. Earnings part we can find out. This is how it is going to. So this is in case of any errors, if we get in payroll, we are supposed to go through like this. And after running the payroll, how the pay slips can be executed is here. This one. Okay.